On to the big story on India Upfront this Monday evening. The recent drubbing in the Punjab polls have come as a huge setback to the Aam Aadmi Party. Arvind Kejriwal's national ambitions have suffered a severe jolt. Delhi remains their only bastion, and the forthcoming municipal body elections in Delhi are crucial for the AAP to secure their mandate and prove their relevance, especially their equity with the people of Delhi. So when the CNAG in its report makes scathing allegations, the Aam Aadmi Party has a reason to be worried. On India Upfront tonight, we are faced with some hard facts. First, the CNAG report states that over 85% of a specific campaign expenditure of 33.40 crore incurred by the Aam Aadmi Party in 2015-2016 was outside Delhi. Secondly, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has not denied the expenditure and has accused the CNAG of playing politics. Thirdly, the report also observes that 24 crore worth of advertisements were in violation of financial propriety and the Supreme Court regulations. So many questions that emerge on India Upfront, but the biggest question is, did the Delhi Chief Minister appropriate public funds for private gains, that is his own party? Did the Delhi Chief Minister use the taxpayers' money to further the cause of the party symbol and the party? In the guise of talking about the governance administered in Delhi, did Arvind Kejriwal and his team try to use public funds to project and promote their individual fortunes in Punjab and Goa? Big questions. We'll go across to our guest this evening. RP Singh of the BJP with us, National Secretary of the BJP. Hitesh Jain, advocate, joins us live. Biswajit Bhattacharya, former Additional Solicitor General, leaning towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Perhaps we see what his position is. And Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, joining us from Chennai. My first question to Mr. Biswajit Bhattacharya. Scathing observations.
I'm sorry, asking me?
Yes, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Yeah, first of all, I must absolutely clearly clarify that I don't belong to any political party. I am an independent professional lawyer. For you to say leaning Aam Aadmi Party is factually incorrect.
Point noted. Taken,
okay.
Sir.
Now, having said that, having said that, I have a very fundamental constitutional question to raise before your panel and the distinguished sort of audience. The CAG's powers emanate from Part 5, Chapter 5 of the Constitution, from Article 148, 149, 150, 151. It very clearly states the jurisdiction extends to union and to the states' accounts. Union comes under Chapter 5. States come under Chapter 6. Chapter 7 of the Constitution stands deleted. Delhi comes under the heading of Union Territory, and so it comes under Chapter 8. So my first fundamental question, until and unless there is a law made by Parliament, the CAG's jurisdiction about the accounts of the Chapter 8 Delhi under Article 239 AA, I would like to be educated the source of power. Having said that, number two question I would like to raise is, since what you said that these figures have not been disputed by the Chief Minister of Delhi himself, and if the Chief Minister has violated any law, the majesty of the law in India reigns supreme, not only in Delhi, but across the length and breadth of the country. The specific law which has been violated must be cited, and the law has to be enforced strictly without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So therefore, I am not able to basically comment that which law violation are you talking about?
Sir, this is a straightforward question. Can you use in the guise of trying to market your government's achievements if you have actually projected and promoted your party symbol and your party looking at electoral gains? My question, Mr. Bhattacharya, is straightforward.
Every day,
the question is straightforward.
Can I just say, no, I must answer a question. No,
yes.
You first of all, you start with an You start with the statement that I am leaning towards this party and that party.
I have taken that point,
Rest
so you
assured,
cannot
no
hold
political-
offense to just that single point and try and monopolize the debate, Mr. Bhattacharya. I respect your point of view. I've heard your point of view. Let me bring in our other panelists, sir, because you have asked which law is violated. My question is, sir, which law was violated when the CNAG called 1.76 lakh crore misappropriation of funds and in the 2G scam? Which law was appropriated when Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also used the CNAG's observations? No, Mr. Bhattacharya, please wait.
All over India,
Mr. Bhattacharya, I do not want to speak over you. Allow me to make my point and move to the other panelists.
For you to suddenly pick and choose,
Mr. Bhattacharya, before you make personal, I will also hold to offense, or I will also pull out if you are trying to make personal accusations. I am saying that is a critical observation. If Arvind Kejriwal can back and quote the CNAG reports to take on the Congress party in case of 2G, in case of demonetization, if he can quote the CNAG reports to take on the BJP and Narendra Modi, why can't we question the CNAG observations to question the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Bhattacharya? So did you question Arvind Kejriwal? On what basis was he quoting the CNAG? You did not, sir. You did not question us at that time on what basis we were questioning the CNAG. We are saying if there is a misappropriation, we are questioning probity. Sir, it's a question of propriety. It's a question of whether or not Supreme Court violations or regulations have been violated. Mr. Bhattacharya, you have made your point of view. We have heard your point of view. Allow me to go to the other panelists, please.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. Sumansi Raman, before I come to you, Hitesh Jain, you're a lawyer yourself. I would like you to raise certain points, address the points that Mr. Bhattacharya has raised, and also tell the viewers, is it about violation of a law or is it about probity, propriety? And the facts that have been pointed out by the accounting
Arvind Kejriwal, for Arvind Kejriwal, there is no constitution, there is no law, there is no legislature, and there is no this thing. He believes in anarchy. The arguments raised by Biswajit Bhattacharya are stated to be rejected. It's such a hyper-technical arguments. They have been raised in the past in the courts and they have not been upheld. I don't know from where his indigenous mind has come. There is absolutely no doubt about the legal provision that Delhi as a state government comes under the jurisdiction of CAG. In the past also the CAG has conducted. In fact, the very own Arvind Kejriwal used to cite the reports of CAG during the Delhi Commonwealth and any other aspects
even demonetization he quoted, Hitesh Jain. Demonetization he is quoting.
So I mean this is just a filibustering. At the end of the day, CAG is a very important functionary in the parliamentary democracy system. When the cabinet and the member and the prime minister, the executives take the decision, they are subject to the scrutiny of the parliamentary audit. CAG is nothing but it's a very important functionary under the constitution, and therefore when it makes an observation that the expenditure has been incurred beyond the authority and they have siphoned the funds for a separate cause and they have appropriated for completely the cause for which the funds have not been sanctioned, this is a serious issue, and you cannot just overlook it by putting such hyper technical arguments.
But Hitesh Jain, as I bring in another
hold the water under the provisions of the constitution.
Yes, Hitesh, complete.
So under the provisions of the constitution and in the past also, there are precedents where the Delhi High Court Delhi government has been subjected to the CAG, and there is no dispute over the jurisdiction of the CAG over the Delhi government.
Matter is set to rest, that the CNAG is perfectly within its powers and jurisdiction to audit the accounts and raise questions of the expenditure of the Delhi government. Now we'll move beyond that. My point is, Mr. RP Singh, Arvind Kejriwal,
that's right.
Arvind Kejriwal turns around and asks, what's wrong? If we have done good work, why shouldn't we market ourselves and tell the people what work the Delhi government has done? So where is the mistake there? That's what Arvind Kejriwal is asking.
Am I to answer that?
Yes, Mr. Singh.
So I don't know who the gentleman was, whether he's a lawyer or someone, but he was under the grab of some technicality trying to shoot the messenger, and the messenger here is the statutory body. And as far as Mr. Kejriwal saying that good work, let me talk about the good work. He was trying to compare, saying that there used to be Mohalla clinic was 5 crore rupees, we have turned into 20 lakh rupees. When asked where shows any figure of 5 crore rupees, they couldn't answer that. Then he has put an ad of 2 flyovers which are never built, which was still in process of build, still to be completed. But he has put an ad and said he had made some savings, and plus he has used huge amount, something to 30 odd crore rupees for ads in Patna, in Goa, in Punjab, in UP. I mean, what do all this has to do with Delhi?
His counter is very clear. His counter is, please challenge this counter.
Money.
Arvind Kejriwal, we have to put both sides, so we're going to put both sides. Arvind Kejriwal comes out and says, what's wrong? If the Delhi government has done good work and we have made an environment which is ease of doing business and we have improved the conditions in Delhi, if we go and advertise in Mumbai, if we go and advertise in Patna, if we go and advertise in the US, UK and even in Canada, we are only going to invite more people to set up businesses in Delhi. So why shouldn't we advertise? That's his question. And that's his counter.
Okay, let me take it further. There's a guideline on content. There's a content regulation. There's a guideline on content by Supreme Court, which categorically says that you have to mention the government name. You can't say Kejriwal government. It's Delhi government. When you are doing your personal publicity outside, you are trying to take your political course ahead. You are doing it for political objectives. When you say Kejriwal government, how do you justify that?
That is the question. To our viewers this evening, and especially the citizens of Delhi, denizens of Delhi who are going to vote for the Municipal Commission of Delhi elections, the question is, has he violated the Supreme Court regulations and norms in the case where you have appropriated the credit that should be due to the government run perhaps by your party, to yourself and your party, and to the party symbol, rather than the emblem of the state of Delhi and the work and the government and the union territory and state that is Delhi, National Capital Region of Delhi. Suman Siraman.
Yeah. Anand, first 2 or 3 very quick points. One, if these ads carried the election symbol of the Aam Aadmi Party, the broom, then they are completely unacceptable. They should have been paid for by the party. There is no second opinion that they've got no business to come out with ads which carry their election symbol. The second very important point is that the Aam Aadmi Party claims to be a party that is extremely democratic and goes back to the citizens and asks them for everything. Like they said that they asked their people of Delhi whether they wanted to form a government the first time with Congress giving outside support and all that. So why not you go and ask the people of Delhi, would you like your tax money to be spent on ads in Patna and Punjab? I mean, one of the issues is there is a precedence. Many other parties have done the same thing. But Aam Aadmi Party claims to be a party with a difference. They say that we are not like other political parties. So if you can justify it by saying other parties have done it, and indeed they have. I mean, I have seen ads in papers in Chennai. I remember 10 years ago when Mayawati was trying to grow the Bahujan Samaj Party, we used to get huge ads in papers here projecting the achievements of the UP government, which had absolutely no relevance to the state. So you can say others have done it. But you are saying
Mayawati Sarkar.
We are not like others.
See, that's
the counter. Would she say Mayawati Sarkar? Like he has said Kejriwal Sarkar.
I can't.
He has no right to say. He should say Delhi government or UP government is okay, but not Mayawati Sarkar or Kejriwal Sarkar.
Even if they had said Delhi Sarkar, the point is the point is, how do you justify? Like, I can understand Delhi is holding an event, an industry get together.
How do you justify this?
To be projected outside the state.
Well, you are using it for your personal promotion.
Those kind of events are justifiable. But you can't just bring out ads with all your schemes. No, you cannot bring out ads which just talk about all the schemes that the Delhi government is doing in another state. There is no logic. There is no rhyme or reason for doing that. Those ads should have been paid for by the party, for which nobody would have had a problem.
So if they have not paid for,
the very fact that the party
if they have not paid for, Sumantraman,
clearly
if the party has not paid for,
then you should have paid for them.
And I'm going to request.
You are on the right point.
If they have not paid for it, have they misused the public funds? Have they misused the funds of the Delhi taxpayer or not?
Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal. If that is true.
Look, this is not a point of law, Anand. It's a point of morality and ethics.
Exactly.
It's a point of ethics. It is not a point which has to be decided on whether it is section 115 bracket 1 / clause 3 or whatever. I think the people of Delhi voted for AAP because they believed it will not be like Congress or BJP or other political parties. To go back now and say that, look, they did this so we can do it, is, I think, something that the people of Delhi will find unacceptable.
No, because that is not something which the Aam Aadmi Party stands for. See, this is something which we have seen time and again. The Aam Aadmi Party say whenever they are questioned about their actions, Bishwajit Bhattacharya. Sir, I'm coming back to you on this, that there is a certain level of morality that comes into play. And secondly, you as a resident of Delhi, you are paying the tax and you got a certain level of funds. They had allocated a budget and there is a question mark that has been raised even on their budgetary spending. They said you had allocated about 40,000 odd crores, you ended up spending about 35,000 and you said we have saved 7,500, but that means you never planned about it properly and you spent bulk of that money in the last month of the last quarter. So there are questions that are being asked of the Aam Aadmi Party which is making them uncomfortable. My question to you, sir, is do you feel cheated?
Most governments, if you
that they spend the money that you have paid the taxes for in another market to promote themselves?
First of all, may I just say very, very categorically that I agree with the panel here. Number one, there may have been an impropriety. And if there has been an impropriety, of course, the consequences must follow. But what I am trying to say is that India is governed by the majesty of rule of law. You quote the law, you quote the Supreme Court judgment, and if it has been violated, go against Arvind Kejriwal, go against Aam Aadmi Party.
It is back to his
Now the
hyper-technical argument.
Now instead of talking in the air,
Who's talking in the air?
CAG's mandate, I think this entire talk is only in the air.
Why? Why do you think?
I mean, you are not quoting any law because it is a matter of propriety. And in matter of propriety, I agree. I agree with the panel in matter of propriety. But as far as law is concerned, as far as the Constitution is concerned, as far as Supreme Court judgment is concerned, you can't basically go in the air. You have to be.
Sir, it says that this is not in conformity. Sir, I'm going to read a text. I'm going to read a text. I'm going to read a part. I'm going to read a part as it's come out in PTI from the report, sir. And hear this out. Sir, you are an additional Solicitor General, former additional Solicitor General. We've got Hitesh Jain, who's a lawyer. I'm going to read the part.
That's why I'm saying this.
I'm going to read the
part. The majesty of the law has to reign supreme.
Sir, hear the operative part. This is not up in the air. Sir, there are two questions here. One, of whether rules have been regulations set out by the Supreme Court, have they been confirmed to or not conformed to, or have they been violated? Secondly, the issue of probity, because the people of the country and people of Delhi are going to vote on the basis of propriety, because they saw and they gave that mandate of 67 seats to Arvind Kejriwal on the lines of propriety. They did not want any Supreme Court ruling to vote for Arvind Kejriwal. They perceived Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal to play out a politics of a different politics that from what is being practiced in the political framework of our country. And what they have done is exactly what they allege every other party did. My question, let me just read this out, sir. I'm just going to take 30 seconds more. Allow me this time, please. Let me just read this out from the text. Sir, to my panelists and to our viewers, just hear this out. On test check of records, audit observed that expenditure of 24.29 crore was incurred on advertisements and publicity campaigns that were not in conformity with the generally accepted principles of financial propriety or the guidelines on content regulation approved by the Supreme Court. Over 85% of the expenditure of 33.4 crore incurred in one specific publicity campaign pertained to advertisements released outside Delhi, which was beyond the responsibility of the Delhi government. There was no prior exercise to identify target audiences or necessary visibility. This is the exact text from which I am quoting to a passage from the report.
No. Now, if you are suggesting there has been a contempt of Supreme Court, move contempt. But the question is,
Anand, AAP can raise it before the court now. Why are we arguing? There is no doubt. I mean, this gentleman will keep on going on raising his argument. He has got nothing else to offer.
150.
Hitesh Jain, he is well within. Bishwajit Bhattacharya is well within his right that any upright citizen can challenge and go knock the doors of the Honorable Supreme Court and tell the top court, and tell the bench, listen, sirs. The rules that you have been
simply
laid
say
down
this
have
is
been
not
violated by the Delhi government.
propriety.
He's saying, why don't you do it? What we are
You
asking
must
is the
quote
people
law.
of Delhi.
You must quote the judgment.
Should the people,
Quote it.
does Arvind
I
Kejriwal go
invite
to the
the panel
Supreme
to
Court
quote
or
the
There
law.
is a
to
CAG,
the
which
people
is
of
a
Delhi for
proprietary
votes?
body
One
which
is
has
the
raised
person
Who does he go to? The people? Who does he go to?
Person
Suman
concerned.
Raman and Hitesh Jain. Who will Arvind Kejriwal go to ahead of the Municipal Commission of Delhi polls? He will go to the people. Will he go to the Supreme Court? No. My
To the
question is,
Delhi
will he tell the
voters,
people,
obvious
listen,
answer.
your
And
money,
Anand,
30
let's
crores of your
discuss
money,
the
I
material
spent outside
issue,
without
but
asking.
Let's discuss
Anand.
the most important issue.
Yes, Hitesh.
Anand, let's discuss the most important
Anand,
issue.
what
The explanation
the Aam
of
Aadmi Party
Arvind
government does not
Kejriwal
seem to
that you are
realize is
spending the money
these are-
in the Tamil Nadu and all to promote the ease of doing business. Now, what is he discussing? Mohalla clinic for the residents of Delhi, and he's discussing about the power bills, not of the industries, but of the people who are using those, the residential area. Now, if the people in the, how is that going to do with the ease of doing business? Is he saying that the Delhi government has given the facilities that if you set up the industry, you are going to get the exemption, or this is going to lead the job creation and all? His ads have got nothing to do. It is clearly the advertisement of the Aam Aadmi Party. He uses the words in the so many words, and then he camouflaged that expenses under the Delhi government.
Is this fair
So
is
that
my
the
question
issue of
this evening.
propriety
Suman Raman,
and
before
the
I come
use
to you,
of
to our
the
viewers,
state
the
fund,
hashtag flashing on the top of your
taxpayer
screens. I just have
is
to make
being
this
used
mention,
for the
Hitesh Jain, allow me this
advertisement.
intervention, please. Aapka Kharcha is the
Yeah,
hashtag.
Anand.
It is a top trend nationally. People are tweeting. They have an opinion. Delhi is also there heavy traffic because Delhi is also on social
Anand.
media. Delhi is also has an opinion on this. My question is, Aam Aadmi Party का खर्चा,
Anand,
that is
isn't it-
आपका
you tell
खर्चा,
me, Anand.
आम आदमी का पैसा
How?
आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए.
Yeah.
So आपका पैसा, आपका खर्चा, आपके लिए, is that right to the people of Delhi? Is a straightforward question that we want you to tell your opinion to us. आपका खर्चा right है क्या? Is it lazmi? Did they use it to set up? And look at the timing. Look at the timing, Suman Raman. This money is in the run-up to the elections in Punjab and Goa.
Yeah.
It is in the run-up to the time that they were setting up. जो भूमिका बांध रहे थे, they were doing the groundwork, trying to attract attention towards the party. This is in 2015, 2016. Just as they announced their foray into Punjab and to Goa for the assembly elections.
It is wrong. 1 minute. Whatever be the timing, it is wrong. It is not something that can be justified. And there are certain fundamental mistakes that the Aam Aadmi Party is making and taking the people, not just of Delhi, but the rest of the country where they want to spread their wings for granted. The classic example, when they took off the website with their list of donations, which they have not put back till recently, it's not been put back. So those kind of things, people are not that dumb not to notice all this. This is a party which came in claiming to be completely different from other parties, and now you're seeing this, their donations which were transparent, now you don't know what's happening, and now you come in and say that I'm spending so much of money on other states. Please do it from the party funds. Nobody can object. If the Aam Aadmi Party wants to release a full page ad in all papers in India every day and pay for it from its own funds, nobody can have a problem with it. Why should the taxpayer of Delhi pay to promote Aam Aadmi Party in Patna or in Punjab? It makes no sense whatsoever. If the Delhi government has done outstanding schemes, let them call the government of India, make a presentation to individual state governments, send their representatives and show and do a PowerPoint presentation of those schemes. What is the logic in if by putting it up on full page ads in the papers?
Sir, the logic is that you can even put it in full page ads.
Even then, how
but
does
you
it
should have
benefit the
said
people
that
of
the
Delhi?
Delhi government has
even
done
if
this.
that happens, how
Sir,
does it
you should have
benefit the
said,
people of Delhi?
Arvind Kejriwal should have said the people of Delhi,
No.
the Delhi government has done this. They did not do that. RP Singh, what they did was Kejriwal Sarkar ne kiya. Jhadu ka kamal. That is what they did.
Kejriwal Sarkar. That's what I'm saying, Kejriwal Sarkar, and I'm taking it further, Anand. I'll appreciate someone should go through the list of all those newspapers which are picked outside Delhi and go through the ad rates of those papers. I'm saying so, Nicole, that there is something more to it. That they have taken some money back from certain newspapers, I'm telling you, Nicole, because there's a paper which are not even known there in those cities.
So how did these ads happen?
And Anand, if the ads carried the election symbol of the party, how on earth can any government or political party justify that?
Or they were only picked for
My
the money
que-
to
my
get
que-
back, for them to get back the money.
Right. The other question is, Bishwajit Bhattacharya, you know the nature of advertisements that were doing the round? There were memes that were doing the rounds. That Barack Obama knows more about the Aam Aadmi Party than the Aam Aadmi in Delhi, because of the advertisements that have been released in America and Canada. The same thing they said that in UK there are more AAP ads locally in key pocket areas than there are ads of the local mayors or the local leaders itself, be it Tory or otherwise.
You see,
That's the level of which was happening in 2015, 2016. So there has to be a reason why. And then you see the influence of these people, the money that came in terms of crowdfunding for the AAP in the run up to Punjab. So should we or should we not put two and two together?
Tell you,
It was basically
No, no,
used for
no, no,
funding
one
in
thing I must
Punjab
tell you,
election.
There was money, we shouldn't have a problem. The
Arre,
problem is,
बात तो
did the
बोलने
Delhi
दीजिए ना,
government pay
one
for them?
thing-
Yes, Bishwajit Bhattacharya.
One thing I must tell you, whether Delhi government has paid or Delhi government has not paid, exceeded its limit, there has to be a well-defined rule and law in this respect. And if the law has been violated, law must take its own course. And this should absolutely, in India, the rule of law reigns supreme. And number two, I must make it very, very clear to you, I give my views very, very freely. I don't belong to any political party, nor have I intention of joining, and nobody will take me in any case. Because I can speak against anyone if I find somebody has violated the law. If Arvind Kejriwal and Delhi government have violated the law, so let law take its own
What is your
course,
perception,
but
sir?
let us-
Sir, I'm not
let
asking
us
you.
have a
I'm not
debate.
asking you as a legal person. I'm not asking you as a former additional Solicitor General. Bishwajit Bhattacharya, if I were to tell you that your Chief Minister, to whom you handed out such an overwhelming mandate, has actually used your money to promote himself and his party in other states, do you think he's been fair to you?
No, you are asking a pointed question. Yes, if that is so, then I would of course say it's not fair. I mean, I'm the last person to justify anything which is unfair. But I have a larger issue here. And my larger issue for your distinguished audience is that in the context of CAG, I'm not raising any technicality. CAG's powers are circumscribed by Article 149, 150, 151 of the Constitution. I am not here to take sides in any political battle because I have been a lawyer in my
Yes.
life, and a lawyer doesn't take sides. Even while arguing in court, I don't take sides. So therefore, this
Sir.
law must be enforced all over the country.
Sir, and since you asked me,
even-handedly,
since you also made the allegation, sir, which I hope I've been able to prove beyond doubt, but I want to put the matter to rest respectfully, sir. When you said that we are talking up in the air, here is the Supreme Court ruling and the guideline, and I'll quote it to you verbatim, so that along with what has
Then
been
why
quoted
don't
in
you
the
file a contempt?
Sir, my point is, why don't you do that?
Article 148,
Why don't you do that, sir? If you are convinced, why don't you do that?
Contempt.
Sir, why don't you do that? If you are
Why?
convinced you are a citizen of Delhi, why don't you do that?
No, ask him. He should do it.
No, you
just said if this is true, it is unfair. You just said, Mr. Bhattacharya, who best and who better than you yourself to file this contempt, because you know the legal parlance so much more better than anybody else who's watching this broadcast. And let me just quote this to you, sir. It principally spells out, I'm just quoting the passage, the operative passage. Sir, it principally spells out 5 principles to regulate the content of advertisements, namely, this is analysis of the draft guidelines prepared by the committee set up by this court in the case now be made. This is what the Supreme Court said in May 2016. Advertising campaigns are to be related to government responsibilities. Materials should be presented in an objective, fair, accessible manner and designed to meet objectives of the campaign, not directed towards promoting political interests of a party. Campaigns must be justified and undertaken in an efficient, cost-effective manner, and advertisements must comply with legal requirements and financial regulation procedures. This is what has been stated. Now, there is further observation,
This
and I want
applies to all over India.
No, sir, there is further observation which I want to quote in terms of year on year, how they have upped their budgets and their spends. I'm just going to read that passage where it very clearly says, yes, they had set up an advertising body called Shabdarth. which was established in 2015 to economize expenditure of the ads. But that objective has not been achieved. This is also an observation of the report.
Now,
they have also said they allotted a whopping 522 crore for advertisement and publicity in the 2015-2016 budget, which got revised to 134 crore. 2017-18 budget, 198 crore set aside. 2016-2017 budgetary allocation, 207 crore, which was revised to 181 crore. So year on year, they are increasing the allocation of expenditure from your funds, from public funds. They are increasing the allocation, and the allegation today and the ruling and the observation by the CNAG, Hitesh Jain, is that they have used this money. They have used this money for the wrong purposes. RP Singh, like you said, not one ad talks about come and do business in Delhi. It talks about what Kejriwal Sarkar has done in Delhi.
No, otherwise also check on
Now you see, whatever
check
law
on the
Supreme
budget which
Court
was spent in
lays down
2014, 13-14.
is applying
It is
uniformly to
threefold
all
the
over the
budget.
country.
It is fourfold now going ahead. It is
Take action against
fivefold.
Kejriwal, take action against the entire country.
Sir, why don't you do it, sir?
Don't restrict
Why
it.
don't you commit on India Upfront tonight, Mr. Bhattacharya, that if you find merit
No,
after
where is the question?
duly
Where
studying
is
the case? Have I convinced
I
you
have
tonight, sir?
completed
If this is
65-year-old.
true, have I convinced you tonight,
completed-
sir?
Why are we
I am at
getting
the
into a
Have I convinced you, Mr. Bhattacharya, tonight? If I have convinced you that if
the right or
the
not?
subject and the context of this debate and what we have presented to you, if you were to see the advertising material that was used and that was pushed across radio, television and print by the Arvind Kejriwal government beyond Delhi, and if it is in violation of these Supreme Court guidelines, you will be the first to file a contempt. I would just like that, request that
No, the
commitment from you,
contempt, there
sir.
has to be a locus standi. A political party can
Why
have
should a
locus
political party?
standi.
Aren't you a citizen
All my
of Delhi,
friends
sir?
who are in
Aren't you a citizen
I
of
am
Delhi?
a citizen of
Aren't you a concerned
Delhi.
citizen of Delhi who does not want wasteful expenditure of his and her hard taxpayer money?
People are
And
dying
make
of
a commitment
hunger,
to Delhi.
poverty,
Hard-earned money
corruption,
paid in taxes,
manipulation.
can it be misused, sir?
Corruption.
And if it should not
Who
be
is
misused,
bothered? One
why don't you give us a
advertisement
commitment
in
that
one
if you
state,
find
why
merit
don't
in
you
our
take
argument
action
tonight,
against all the
you will be the
states in
first
all
to
the
file a
states?
contempt. And I'm sure when a former additional
I
Solicitor
am
General
here
in
to
Biswajit
defend the
Bhattacharya
Constitution.
moves the Honorable
I am
Supreme
here to
Court, you will
defend
be
the
heard, sir.
Constitution of India.
Anand.
The Constitution of India is too broad.
Sir,
The Constitution is too
I would
broad.
have appreciated
The
had you said I
country
will look
has-
into the
I agree
merits,
with
I will
you,
look
it is
into
a
the ads and
moral
I'll file the
ground.
contempt plea if it is
but
true.
I don't agree with you. But I don't agree
Anand.
with you that this law
Sir,
is applicable
Sir,
only
you
to
said,
Delhi. This
sir,
law
you
is
said
applicable.
that if this is
law laid
true,
down
it
by
is
Supreme
unfair
Court is
to the
applicable
citizen.
all over the country.
You have made that
So
commitment.
therefore, this
Please,
is a sectarian
I only
approach
will
you are
urge Mr.
taking.
Biswajit
This
Bhattacharya
is a
and also the
sectarian
people of
approach.
Delhi to go into the facts
You
and
are not
details and look at the
only-
advertisement
you
that was
are
pushed by the Aam
only
Aadmi
does
Party
not matter
action
whether-
here.
from your money.
Action all over
And
the
if you
country.
feel that was unfair, you should
Even
get
if this had
Arvind
come out
Kejriwal and the AAP
my
accountable.
money
Sir,
is
way over
being
time, I have to
down
wind up.
every day. The union-
Sir, way over time, I have to wind up. I have to wind up this debate on India Upfront tonight. Thank you very much. I hope we have made our case to our viewers.
Every day. Whom do you care?
And they should move, they should consider, and they should choose carefully and ask the right questions like we have done tonight on India Upfront. Thank you very much.